Good morning, beloveds, or in the case if you're in Europe, I guess it's almost afternoon for you. And we thank you for joining us and bringing your holy light to this circle, to the celebration of the divinity that we are right here, right now. Beyond the idea of planning, which we talked about yesterday, and it's an opportunity. Jesus has been talking to me about just really being present with that desire, that energetic wanting, letting that dissipate totally in the light. The wanting something, the wanting the plan, the wanting to fix, the wanting everything except just being. And I can see how much that it just like burns out that identity, that wanting mechanism, that desire, that horizontal play within consciousness, to play with form, to create form, and then play with form. Dance with the devil, as we say. And I can see that all the fear comes from that, playing in form. So we're at lesson 136, and we're joining to celebrate that the lessons are true, and just checking in with Jesus in the light of divinity that we are, just to see if there are any denials that the Course lessons are true. So today's lesson is sickness is a defense against the truth. And the light of divine being, is there any desire to deny that sickness is a defense against the truth? I'm willing to see it. As we just listen for that still voice within to say, yes, it's still there, you still desire it, and just really say, with that desire and in the light, like admitting every desire. Okay, I admit it. I admit I really want sickness. Sickness is a defense against the truth. Jesus, is there any desire to use defense? Sickness is a defense against the truth below my level of awareness. You may say yes. In that case, just, okay, show me, Jesus. Show me the energetic investment in that. I'm ready to release it. I'm ready to really see this. We're just so used to that idea that the body gets sick and die. Here we have this master telling us, no, it doesn't have to be that way. It need not be to have that experience. No one can heal unless he understands what purpose sickness seems to serve. For then he understands as well its purpose has no meaning. Jesus, show me that sickness has no meaning. In the light of divine being, does sickness have meaning? Indirect experience. Does pain have meaning in the light of divine being that we share here? For then he understands as well its purpose has no meaning. See that the sickness has no meaning to the Son of God, to the light, infinite light, God's holy, precious Son. This is perfect happiness when this is seen. Being causeless and without a meaning intent of any kind, it cannot be at all. Now release that investment into your holy light, Jesus, my brother, as Jesus' representative. When this is seen, healing is automatic. This is like the happy news. Happy news. Healing is automatic. Just seeing in the light of divine being, healing is natural. Even seeing that the light of divine being is the light, the infinite light that we celebrate here, does it know sickness? No. It dispels this meaningless illusion by the same approach it carries all of them to truth and merely leaves them there to disappear. This is complete happiness. This is the light circle. It's just we gently offer into the light all the energies and investments and to see how the light just takes all of it and burns it. And we just yawn and it's done. Just like energy release, gone, evaporates. We are powerful indeed, aren't we? Sickness is not an accident. Like all defenses, it is a sane device for self-deception. Jesus, will you show me where sickness is self-deception? A desire, experience for self-deception. I'm willing to see it full on. Give it to me. And like all the rest, its purpose is to hide reality, attack it, change it, render it inept, distort it, twist it, or reduce it to a little pile of unassembled parts. This is so fantastic. Let's read it. Okay. Self-deception. Show me how sickness's purpose is to hide reality. I want to see it completely. To hide from our own reality, to hide from ourselves. That's why there's happy laughter when we see through this. Because we see in the light a divine being that's here, there's something untouched. Even no matter what the body's doing. The light's untouched, divine being's untouched. Okay, so we're hiding from ourselves. Sickness. Attack it. Show me how sickness is attack. Self-attack. Change it. Try to change the light. We talked about this last night. To really try and change the light. You see how futile that is to try and change the light that's here. Like, as hard as we could try and change it, it's like we see it's impossible. Or to distort it. Can the light be distorted in any way? the light that's here that we're celebrating. In our direct experience, we can ask Jesus to tell us, Jesus, can the light be distorted? We can hear him say, no. Infinite light. Reduce it to a little pile of unassembled parts. I'm willing to see how sickness tries to reduce reality to a pile of unassembled parts. It's to fragment wholeness for a fragmentation experience. The aim of all defenses is to keep the truth from being whole. Self-attack. The parts are seen as if each one were whole within itself. Defenses are not unintentional, nor are they made without awareness. Yeah, this is pointing to the great delusion. We are aware of what we're doing and then pretending we're not aware. That's why admission is so helpful, to admit that we are miscreating these experiences. And really being present with the desire to create experience. They are secret magic wands you wave when truth appears to threaten what you would believe. That's when the ego really gets upset. That's why the ego gets upset with following the Holy Spirit, because the truth is threatening to the beliefs. The only thing that can be threatened is beliefs. Notice, is the light ever threatened? So every seeming threat is some cornerstone, some little held piece of personal identity. It's being held on to. Thus the pain. And then it seems to go in the body. I can remember being sick, and when I really looked at the beliefs, I could see, oh, if I'm sick, I'm not at fault. See, something's happening to me, but I'm not in control of that. I could see the face of innocence in that. When I would look with Jesus, I could see, I don't have to be responsible. Then I didn't have to be responsible. And I could see underlying beliefs like wanting somebody who's going to take care of me. The desire to project upon the body. Like when I was doing that, I had that little video online about nausea when I was sick, and asking Jesus, he's telling me, you're wanting, it's symbolic, throwing up is wanting to project it out of yourself. That, oh, that's so helpful to look at every belief around being sick, physical form of the body. They seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity with which you choose to use them, they seem to be unconscious, but only because of the rapidity with which you choose to use them. The self-delusion of the speed. In that second, even less, in which the choice is made, you recognize exactly what you attempt to do, and then proceed to think that it is done. This is how quickly in form we create form, instantaneously, expressing out in the seeming form of a dis-ease in a body. in that second, even less in which the choice is made, the choice to be sick, experience sickness, limitation through sickness. In all forms, not just the body form, any kind of disturbance. Who but yourself evaluates a threat, decides escape is necessary, and sets up a series of defenses to reduce the threat that has been judged as real? All this cannot be done unconsciously. Jesus, I'm willing to see this. That I know this. And fully present with that. Knowing that we know, knowing that I know. But afterwards your plan requires that you must forget you made it. So it seems to be external to your own mind, a happening beyond your state of mind, an outcome with a real effect on you instead of one effected by yourself. Effect, cause and effect. And it's an effect, an appearance and consciousness that feels apart from the whole. It is this quick forgetting of the part you play in making your reality that makes defenses seem to go beyond your own control. Jesus, will you show me the desire to forget the part I play? In making my quote-unquote reality. My only desire is to see this in fullness and cease to deny this power to miscreate. To dream illness. Illness is a part of the dream. But what you have forgot can be remembered, giving willingness to consider the decision which is doubly shielded by oblivion. Your not remembering is the sign that this decision still remains in force as far as your desires are concerned. This is really helpful because this is why he's really pointing to remembering. Remember that the decision is yours. Remember the desire for this decision, desire for this experience. Mistake this, not this, for fact. Defenses must make facts unrecognizable. Meaning, defenses make light, which is here already, unrecognizable through the choice to forget or hide from the light, hide from divine being, when in truth we can see as we look in this light cannot be hidden from. So we can only dream it, dream that it's possible to hide. Defenses must make the facts that light's always here unrecognizable. They aim at doing this, and it is this they do. Jesus, I really would want to see all decisions to hide the remembering, to cover over the remembering of this miscreation. Every defense takes fragments of the whole, assembles them without regard to all their true relationships, and thus constructs illusions of a whole that is not there. It is this process that imposes threat. and not whatever outcome may be result. When parts are wrestled from the whole and seen as separate and wholes within themselves, they become symbols standing for attack upon the whole, successful in effect, and never to be seen as whole again. And yet you have forgotten that they stand but for your own decision of what should be real, to take the place of what is real. Jesus, I'm willing to see how this decision in mine is taking the place of reality, the place of the light, to supersede the light. In this we see how precious willingness truly is. Sickness is a decision. It is not a thing that happens to you quite unsought, which makes you weak and brings you suffering. It is a choice you make, a plan you lay, when for an instant truth arises in your own deluded mind, and all your world appears to totter and prepare to fall. Now you are sick. The truth may go away and threaten your establishness no more. Jesus, please, I'm willing to see how I'm using sickness of any sort in the body or otherwise to banish truth from my mind. To try and banish the memory of the light within. How do you think that sickness can succeed in shielding you from truth? Can sickness shield me from the light that's here? Can we find that in direct experience and looking? Because it proves the body is not separate from you. And so you must be separate from the truth. You suffer pain because the body does, and in this pain you are made one with it. You suffer pain because the body does. The attempt to project outside of the wholeness, to create fragmentation. So pains of fragmentation, experience a desired fragmentation experience. And in this pain, you are made one with it. Seems to be part of you, yet it's a fragmentation experience, desired. This is your true identity, quote unquote, preserved, and strange, haunting thought that you might be something beyond this little pile of dust, silence, and stilled. For see, this dust can make you suffer, twist your limbs and stop your heart, commanding you to die and cease to be. Thus is the body stronger than the truth, which asks you live, but cannot overcome your choice to die. The choice to die. And so the body is more powerful than everlasting life, heaven more frail than hell, and God's design for salvation of his sons opposed by decision stronger than his will. His son is dust, the Father incomplete, and chaos sits in triumph on his throne. Such is your planning for your own defense. And you believe that heaven quails before such mad attacks as these, with God made blind by your illusions, truth turned into lies, and all the universe made slave to laws which your defenses would impose upon it. Yet who believes illusions but the one who made them up? Jesus, in the light of being, I'm willing to see. Show me. I'm willing to see in honesty, the self-honesty, that I made the illusions. What else could see them and react to them as if they were the truth? God knows not of your plans to change his will. Does the light know anything about my plans or our plans to change God's will? Many times we might ask ourselves, how can God not know this? The concept of God that we have as omnipotent is still a concept. And the light, which is beyond concepts, we can see the light has no knowledge of the plan for change because the light just is. The universe remains unheeding of the laws by which you thought to govern it. And heaven has not bowed to hell, nor life to death. Does the light bow to death? The light that we are, does it bow to death? You can but choose to think you die or suffer sickness or distort the truth in any way. What is created is apart from all of this. Defenses or plans to defeat what cannot be attacked. What is unalterable cannot change. Can the light change? The light that we come here to celebrate, is that changing? Can it be altered in our direct experience? And what is wholly sinless cannot sin. Can sin be found in this light of infinite being that we share as one? The only thing we can share. The only thing that's unrestricted by time or space or death, where death has no dominion. Such is the simple truth. It does not make appeal to might nor triumph. It does not command obedience nor seek to prove how pitiful and futile your attempts to plan defenses that would offer it. Does the light that's here, infinite light, demand obedience? Does it make any demands at all of us? It just is. Does it seek to prove how pitiful and futile our attempts to plan defenses that would alter it? Does it know of our attempts and defenses to try and alter it? The light know this. Truth merely wants to give you happiness, for such its purpose is. Does the light want to give anything other than happiness in our direct experience? Perhaps it sighs a little when you throw away its gifts, and yet it knows with perfect certainty that what God's will for you must be received. Is the light already received in our direct experience? Does it say, no, I'm not giving you anything? We know whose voice says that. It neither gives nor takes, it just is. Is this the fact that demonstrates that time is it is this fact that demonstrates that time is an illusion. In the light of divine being, let's listen to what Jesus says in our hearts. Our own divine being will answer this. Is time an illusion? In our direct experience is the light here. Ask the light, let the light tell us inside. Something knows the light's an illusion. What is that? Only the light can know. Time's an illusion. Is time going to go? I'm an illusion, by the way. For time lets you think that God has given you, think what God has given you is not the truth right now as it must be. The thoughts of God are quite apart from time, for time is another meaningless defense you made against the truth. Yet what he wills is here, and you remain as he created you. In the light of divine being, am I as God created me? Hear the answer. Truth has a power far beyond defense, for no illusions can remain where truth has been allowed to enter. Can illusion remain in the light of divine being? And it comes to any mind that would lay down its arms and cease to play with folly. It is found at any time today if you will choose to practice giving welcome to the truth. These light circles are the welcome mat to truth. Just like the Course when we followed as the welcome mat to truth. This is our aim today. We will give a quarter of an hour twice to ask the truth to come to us and set us free. And truth will come, for it has never been apart from us. It merely waits for just this invitation which we give today. We introduce it with a healing prayer to help us rise above defensiveness and let truth be as it always has been, just as the light always is within us. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. Healing will flash across your mind as peace and truth arise to take the place of war and vain imaginings. There will be no dark corners sickness can conceal and keep defended from the light of truth. There will be no dim figures from your dreams, nor their obscure and meaningless pursuits with double purposes insanely sought remaining in your mind. It will be healed of all the sickly wishes that it tried to authorize the body to obey. Now is the body healed because the source of sickness has been open to relief. And you will recognize you practice well by this. The body should not feel at all. Does the light feel the body? In our direct experience, the infinite light. This is such a powerful sentence. The body should not feel at all. Any feeling is desired experience. If you have been successful, there is no sense of feeling ill or feeling well, of pain or pleasure. No response at all is in the mind to what a body does. Its usefulness remains and nothing more. Perhaps you do not realize that this removes the limits you have placed upon the body by the purposes you gave it. As these are laid aside, the strength the body has will always be enough to serve all truly useful purposes. The body's health is fully guaranteed because it's not limited by time, by weather or fatigue, by food or drink, or any laws you made it serve before. You need do nothing now to make it well, for sickness has become impossible. Yet this protection needs to be preserved by careful watching. If you let your mind harbor attack thoughts, yield to judgment, or make plans against uncertainties to come, you have been again misplaced yourself and made a bodily identity which will attack the body, for the mind is sick. Give instant remedy should this occur by not allowing your defensiveness to hurt you longer. Do not be confused about what must be healed, but tell yourself, I have forgotten what I really am, for I mistook my body for myself. Sickness is a defense against the truth. But I am not a body, and my mind cannot attack, so I cannot be sick. Thank you, Jesus. Where else on this planet would you find something this powerful about sickness? When the whole world is captured, captivated, is made to take for granted that sicknesses of the body is real. It's beautiful, all the spiritual traditions and non-duality, and to look and to see that there's only light. And we can see this, and this can be found, and it can be seen waking up. As long as there's sickness in the body, it's still in the dream, not to judge others, not to go tell others. As Jesus said, this is a time for contemplation. This is a time for us to know it in our hearts and experience it directly, this power. Not to tell our friends and neighbors, oh, you're sick and your mind's sick. No, it's for us to see and to look at all the beliefs within and to see that everything he says about looking at these beliefs and this desire for the experience of the body that's sick rather than the unchanging. And it's not to say and go and look at, Ramana or any of the sages that were sick. That's still within the play of consciousness. To go and say, okay, that one was sick or that one wasn't awake because they're sick or any of those kinds of thoughts. It's to go, here's Jesus and here's what he's telling me, and this is what I'm willing to look at for myself. Let me find out if this is true for myself, that my mind is unhealed and therefore expressing out as some kind of tension in the body or a hangnail, and seeing that it's all the same. It's some unhealed part of my mind that I need to see. If the body's felt at all, that's pretty deep. But we can see if we look in the light. As the light doesn't have any feelings whatsoever. Amen. Thank you, beloveds, for your devotion to God, devotion to yourself, and to the whole, and to what's blessed and holy, and how we honor each other so deeply in this devotion. To truth. Feels that we'll sit in a few moments of silence this morning to look with Jesus. Jesus, will you reveal to us any thoughts about a body that are yet unhealed? Any attempts to project into a body?